guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
All right, Middle-Aged White Guy Reacts is back again today with another video for you. And ladies and gentlemen, there is still hope for this country. What a fantastic outcome. Exactly what we were hoping for, a lot of us, as it was a clear case of self-defense. This is not exactly the video I was expecting to make. I was ready to make this Monday or Tuesday, and I figured it would be this video that I'm making right now. After Tuesday, I was really nervous and started kind of blackpilling myself, trying to, kind of thinking that there's no way it's going to come out in this guy's favor. Thank God I was wrong, and we came eventually to the correct decision. Yeah, but this was huge. This was huge for everybody. Okay, this is much bigger than just Kyle Rittenhouse. This had implications on the rest of America and their rights to defend themselves. The fact that it was even brought to trial in the first place was scary enough. Okay, the video evidence from day one was just clear. It was clear as day that this was self-defense, and charges should have never even been brought, but they were. And the fact that it took the jury all week to deliberate was also scary. But they were thorough, obviously, and got to the correct conclusion. I've been watching Rekieta Law all week. So I am not an attorney, but can probably pass a bar exam right now if you handed me one. So they had fantastic coverage. They streamed every day, and just talked for hours about all aspects of the case. And I was glued to it, essentially. Whenever I had a free moment, I would put them on and see what they were saying, see if anything happened. So those were amazing streams, amazing streams, and amazing insight from all those people. So that was fantastic to join them for the week and experience this trial with them. But yeah, I expected this to be a much different video once Wednesday and Thursday came. And especially after his lawyer asked for the mistrial without prejudice. That was such a head-slapping moment, but it all worked out in the end. And it's tough because obviously you're happy for Kyle and his family, but you also realize that there are other families that are also affected by this, and even though I don't know if I should even try to put this lightly. I don't know if you can. Even though that they were the aggressors in the situation, that doesn't make it any easier for the families to accept the loss or get over anything or feel like justice was served. So my heart and prayers go out to those families as well. They had nothing to do with the incident. They just have to deal with the aftermaths, which, are devastating. Okay. So just want to say that. But yes, Kyle and his family are going to be, celebrating of some sort tonight and for the days to come, and he deserves that. But this kid is never going to be the same after this, and he's going to struggle with this the rest of his life, more than likely. So, again, prayers out to him and his family, and make sure that, he has all the resources necessary to help him cope and deal with everything moving forward. But yeah, I was expecting them to either split the baby and give him guilty on something, or uh, guilty outright on the homicides. And I already had my video planned for that. I already knew all the talking points I was going to hit, and what I was going to lay out. And so I have no idea how to do this video now, because I was not ready. Was not ready for this outcome. But anyway, yeah, this was this kid's best chance. So when his attorney started talking about mistrial without prejudice, it was just like, no, no, no. Like, it was real scary, because, and here's why I thought this was his best chance. You're not going to get Grosskreutz or Grosskrotch or whatever his name is on the stand to say that he pointed the gun at Kyle's head again before he shot. It wasn't going to happen. And that was huge. That was huge. You know, you just admitted to pointing a gun at somebody's head before he shot you. So that was probably not going to happen in another trial. I can't remember all of the missteps by the prosecutors, but there's plenty. And the dirty tricks by them were just awful. All right, and I assumed, okay, and I had a very cynical view of what was going to happen. All right, especially the way the trial went, how the judge was very aggressive at first with the prosecutors, and then still like allowed some things to go on, but basically allowed the whole thing to play out. Okay, in a favorable light towards Kyle when you're looking at it. The prosecutors had big bungles in cross-examinations and everything, or in examining witnesses, and that stuff wasn't going to happen again. So my thought was, you know, if he doesn't get it now, he's not going to get it on appeal. It was, you know, I'm sorry, it was going to be really hard for him to do it on appeal. And I thought that was going to be done on purpose, essentially, to kind of cut off that avenue for him, to really railroad him into a conviction. Because you're looking at it from the outside, you're like, hey, look, the judge was favorable. He made sure that, you know, at first he was making sure that your rights were protected. You got a fair trial. By the end there, though, it was just the train was running off the rails hard, and it was quite a sight to behold. So there would have possibly been an avenue there, but I figured the defense or the prosecutors aren't going to make the same mistakes. The judge was favorable to you, didn't allow them to be called victims, made sure that they were allowed to be called rioters, you know, so there was enough there to look at and be like, this kid got a fair shake. There was plenty there by the end, though, to say that was completely miscarriage of justice, prosecutorial misconduct, etc., etc. But it wasn't, so we didn't get a chance to make that video. But yeah, this was great. This was a big win for all of America, on everybody on both sides of the aisle. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are upset with the verdict. I challenge them to look into the details of the case and still see if they're upset. A lot of people did not know that the people that Kyle shot were not people of color. The whole way this thing was framed from the beginning was like this was a race issue when it was clearly not. So as some people were learning at the beginning of the trial that these aren't even people of color, they kind of started putting the pieces together themselves, which was a good thing to see. I think this trial red-pilled a lot of people who might be, you know, lean left, or independent or more center, maybe got them to lean a little bit more the other way. Just once they see the disparity in how how the mainstream media reported things, and got them thinking, well, if, you know, this was that wrong, what else? You know, what else aren't they telling us, or what else are they feeding us misinformation about? So, you know, hopefully this opens up a few minds. It definitely opens up a lot of people's eyes to the state of our justice system, because if that's how this works, well, what can you say? There's no justification for what that prosecution was trying to do. You know, if that's how the justice system works, then yeah, there's a lot of problems, because that was disgusting. Yeah, disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And you're talking about a child that was chased by several adult males and assaulted with weapons. And you know, a skateboard, I'm sorry, is a weapon. If you don't believe me, whack yourself in the shin with the edge of one, and then imagine somebody doing that to your head at full force. All right. So you do that and you tell me that's not a weapon. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it's really good to see that there is hope for this country. Not everybody is crazy. There's at least 12 sane people in Wisconsin. You know? So we have that going for us. Now, because this would have set precedent if he would have been found guilty. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, that would have been the end all be all and you'd never be able to defend yourself from any attacker ever again, but this would have given them a crack in the foundation to start trying to force themselves through. You know, people could have been citing this case and other things. So got the results that was necessary, not only for Kyle, but for justice and for the rest of America, and our rights to defend ourselves. And it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day, even though it's cold and snowy here. And it was just really good to see, and not anything I expected. Like I said, especially after some of the handwriting analysis on the jury notes and the oh God, what else was there? Oh, they broke down the language and of the note, and saying that this, you know, they made a whole persona on this Ford person who wrote the note based on the language used and the handwriting. It's like, oh, this is a lost cause. This is a lost cause. This kid is going down, and it was all purely political. You know, let's be honest. The prosecutor even said it during the trial that this was a political trial. Yeah, you know. Oh my God. But yeah, good day for justice, okay? And pray for Kenosha tonight. They might see some upset people. Like I said, I challenge anybody who's upset about this to go look at the facts, look at the video evidence that's available, and it's clear as day. Put yourself in that kid's shoes. And you could say he had no right to be there all you want. That was, you know, proven in court that he had a right to be there. And you could say anything about crossing state lines and having an AR and short-barreled rifle. That's all been litigated and determined that it was all on the up and up. So, you know, what are you going to do? He did everything correctly that night. His restraint, his clear-headed thinking and actions were amazing. It's a shame he had to be in that situation and that had to happen. Don't get me wrong, but the way he reacted to that situation is something, frankly, I don't want to say admire, but if you're ever in that situation, something to emulate. Absolutely. You know, I'll never admire anybody who has to do that, because it's not an admirable thing necessarily. You know, it's not like a congratulations, you won a game, because it's damaging psychologically. Even for that kid's going to be damaged psychologically for the rest of his life. So I don't admire that. I wouldn't want that for myself. But the bravery, the courage that he showed, the clear thinking, the level-headedness, it was commendable. Okay, that's a better word, I would say, commendable. Because not everybody would be able to react like that in that situation. And thank God he did, because if he didn't react that way, he would have been beaten to a pulp or worse, and we would have had videos online about it, and nobody would have heard about anything else afterwards. Okay, he would have just been forgotten. No justice would have happened. Nobody would have been arrested or brought to trial or anything like that. I want to know why, Gross Crotch isn't facing charges at this point. It was already determined that it was self-defense. All right, so if he was defending himself from Gross Crotch, that makes what Gross Crotch was doing assault at the very least, correct? And then at the very least, brandishing, okay? So when are those charges coming? I'm not going to hold my breath for that, but, they should be, but they're not going to. But anyway, I'm guessing that'll be the video. This was a great day for justice in America. It's a big win for freedom-loving Americans countrywide, worldwide. Freedom-loving people worldwide. I know a lot of people from other countries were interested in what was going on in this trial, especially seeing, even though the chat in Rakita Law was going extremely fast, you're catching people from other countries, they really invested in the outcome of this. So congratulations, all you. Justice prevailed, and it's a good day for today. Tomorrow will bring a whole other set of problems and issues and another, iteration of the culture war we're going to have to fight. But we won today, and we need to start piling up these small little victories because we're still behind. We're still behind. But, this was a step in the right direction, but it's not time to sit back. It's not time to pat ourselves on the back and say it's all going to be okay, because it's not. We still need to be active in our communities, in our local government, at our school boards, in our court systems. We need to take back control of this country. This was one step in the proper direction. We're still miles and miles behind, though. So let's go, people. That'll do it, though. Just a reminder to everybody out there, 100% of the people who did not attack Kyle Rittenhouse that night in Kenosha did not get shot by Kyle Rittenhouse. So there you go. That'll do it. That'll be the video. Middle-aged white guy reacts is out. Peace.